Today, we're diving into the modern day Colosseums. And no, I'm not talking about ancient ruins. I'm talking about the digital stages where a whole new kind of gladiator is fighting for glory, for cash, and yeah, for our eyeballs. Okay, so what in the world connects a super soldier from a video game, Tom Brady, and the legendary Ronaldinho? I know, it sounds like the start of a really weird joke, right? A virtual character, the GOAT quarterback, and a soccer magician. But the answer is actually pretty fascinating. They all compete in a totally new kind of arena. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get on the same page about what these new arenas even are. Then, we're going to jump into three totally different worlds: a wild virtual battlefield, a celebrity showdown that's been engineered for pure drama, and a match that's all about nostalgia and legacy. And at the end, we'll pull it all together and see what it means for the future of competition itself. All right, let's dive right in. First, we need to establish what we're even talking about here. What makes these new arenas, well, new? See, the stadiums we're talking about aren't always made of concrete and steel anymore. They're global digital platforms. Think YouTube, Twitch, you name it. They can host basically any competition you can dream up. A crazy video game firefight, a celebrity challenge, a charity soccer match, and beam it out to millions of people in an instant. This, right here, is the modern Colosseum. Okay, let's get into our first case study. Arena number 1 is totally virtual, coming straight from the world of Battlefield. And you gotta understand, this isn't just a game in the traditional sense. It's more like a giant sandbox for pure, unscripted, player-driven chaos. And this is a huge shift in how we think about entertainment. You know, old school games, they basically put you on rails. You just followed a pre-written script. But in this arena, the game just gives you a bunch of tools, like, I don't know, a sledgehammer that can literally tear down walls, and basically says, go on, make your own story. The environment itself isn't just a backdrop, it's something you can mold and break and use to your advantage. And here's a perfect example of that in action. This isn't some secret path the developers put in. No, a player looked at that wall and didn't see an obstacle. They saw an opportunity. So they grabbed a portable ladder, used it like a ramp to get up to a window, then just whipped out a sledgehammer and smashed a brand new doorway through the wall. Boom. A totally new flank, something the designers never planned for. And moments like this, these unique little stories, happen in every single match. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that this virtual arena is all about what we call emergent narrative. The excitement isn't just about who wins or loses. It's about how they do it, using the tools they're given to create a moment, a story that's never, ever happened before. All right, let's switch gears completely. Our second arena takes a totally different path. We're entering the world of MrBeast, where competition isn't this open, chaotic sandbox. Oh no, it's a perfectly engineered piece of drama built from the ground up for maximum impact. So how does he do it? Well, the formula starts with absolutely life-changing stakes. I mean, imagine offering a high school kid a shot at 100 grand just for trying to outthrow Tom Brady. Next, you create a skill gap so massive, it's almost funny. This is not a fair fight, people. This is David versus a Goliath who happens to be wearing 7 Super Bowl rings. The odds are just astronomical. And then, just when you think it can't get any bigger, you crank it all the way up. The prize money suddenly explodes to a mind-boggling $1 million. It's pure spectacle, built around a challenge that seems absolutely, completely impossible. So you're probably wondering, how do you make the impossible seem, well, possible? Simple. You engineer the arena. The regular person doesn't have to throw a football like Tom Brady. They just have to hit a much, much bigger target. They don't have to be a pro golfer. They just get to aim for a hole that's 50 times bigger. These little handicaps, that's the secret sauce. It's all designed to level the playing field just enough to make you believe an upset could actually happen. And that's really the genius of this whole thing. This arena isn't about finding out who's the best. It's about manufacturing the best story. It's a carefully crafted narrative where a normal person gets a believable shot at taking down a legend. And we, the audience, get to watch it all unfold, holding our breath. Okay, for our third and final arena, we're shifting gears again. This one isn't built on player creativity or careful engineering. It's built on something much older: history. We're talking about the Icons charity match, where all the drama comes from seeing these absolute legends step back onto the field, maybe one last time.
That one line of commentary, a moment of magic, it just says it all, doesn't it? Every single touch of the ball, every pass, it's just heavy with history. You're not just watching a soccer game, you're reliving decades of memories. So when a guy like Wayne Rooney gets the ball, you're not just seeing a man in his late 30s. You're seeing every single spectacular goal he ever scored, all flashing before your eyes. And because of all that history, you get an ending that feels like it's straight out of a movie. I mean, with only 6 minutes left, Rooney scores a classic Rooney goal. You think, okay, that's it, story's over. But nope, a shocking equalizer in the 89th minute. And then, if that wasn't enough, an unbelievable last-gasp winner in stoppage time. You literally could not write a better script.
So what's powering this arena? It's pure, uncut nostalgia. Yes, the skill's still there, you can see it. But the real emotional punch comes from the decades of stories that every single one of those players carries with them onto the field. It's a competition, for sure, but it's also a celebration of legacy. Okay, so let's recap. We've got player-driven creativity, we've got perfectly engineered drama, and we've got powerful, nostalgic legacy. 3 completely different types of arenas. So what's the common thread? What actually connects them all?
Well, what really defines these new coliseums are 2 things: the power of a good story and instant global access. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if that story is being written on the fly by the players, meticulously crafted by a creator, or built on decades of sports history. It's the narrative that hooks us. And the amazing thing is, these digital platforms can deliver that incredible story to anyone on the planet whenever they want to watch. And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? The tools to create and broadcast these massive spectacles, they're getting cheaper and easier to use every single day. So the next great competitive arena, it might not come from some huge game studio or a media conglomerate. It might actually come from you. So the real question is, what's it going to be?